Hey everybody, and welcome to Home with the Halsteads, and welcome to my kitchen, or welcome to the other side of my kitchen. Today I'm going to be using my sink, and normally you see me over toward the stove and the island, but I'm going to be working with pork tenderloin, and I want to talk to you about it before we actually cook it. Pork tenderloin is a very lean, delicate piece of meat, and Doug and I just love it. In fact, we have it very often at our house because there's no waste to it. It's all meat. It can be served at breakfast, at lunch, or at dinner, and it pairs so well with vegetables such as Brussels sprouts or asparagus, with cabbage, with roasted green beans. And then it also pairs really well with corn or grits, and I could never leave out homemade biscuits. And that's usually what I do. I just whip up some biscuits and fry some pork tenderloin, and we sit down and we eat it and we enjoy it. But it does serve so well with so many dishes. So I wanted to tell you what I have learned through the years about pork tenderloin. Pork tenderloin usually comes in a vacuum package. It's vacuum sealed, and several years ago, well, many years ago, I bought some and I opened it up and it had a little odor to it, or a little smell to it, and I thought, I know this is not spoiled, I know that it's good, I just bought it. So I talked to my meat manager at the grocery store where I shopped, and he told me what to do. He said that oftentimes when you have vacuum packed meat, it will have a little smell to it, and he told me that I needed to open it, I needed to rinse it with cold water, and then I needed to soak it in ice water for 5 minutes and let it bloom. Now, I don't know what he meant by bloom, but I think he meant to get to make it fresh, to bring out the flavors, and it also changes color. I've noticed that through the years. So when I buy pork tenderloin, which this is way too much for us, this is 2 1/4 pounds, and I'll only be cooking just what we need for a serving for each one of us. But I'll take it and I'll go ahead and prepare it. I'll soak it in the ice water, and then I'll pat it dry with a paper towel, and then I divide it up into how much we need for a meal, and I freeze it accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the tenderloin. I want to show you this process. I just have some scissors here. I'm going to open this up. And you'll find, and I have on gloves, and I've washed my sink really well, you'll find that there are 2 pork tenderloins in this package. See how beautiful that meat is? It's just beautiful. So now I'm going to turn my water on, and I have a stainless steel pan here that I use a lot. If you don't have some, in fact, I have several of these, and they're called nesting pans, and they just stack on top of the other, and it stores really well. So I'm going to fill this stainless steel pan with water, and I have some ice here. This is just ice cubes. So I'm going to pour the ice in the pan and let that start getting cold. Next, I'm going to rinse our pork loins, or pork, excuse me, this is not a pork loin, it's a tenderloin. There's a distinct difference in a pork loin and a pork tenderloin, and these are tenderloins. So I'm just rinsing it off, and then I'm going to drop it in the ice water. And I'll do this one the same way. And I'm going to drop it in the water. I'll turn that off. I'll clean this up. My trash can is right here handy. grab a paper towel, clean this up. And once this has soaked in this ice water for 5 minutes or so, then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to pat it, lay it on a paper towel, pat it dry, and then I'm going to slice it. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that, and then we'll cook some, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, our tenderloin has been in the water for 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to take it out and place it on this paper towel, and you can see how it has changed color. It's lighter in color. I'm wrapping it up in this paper towel that I've spread out here, and I'm going to just take it like that. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of skin on there, and I'm just going to take that off. Just a little bit right there. It's okay if you want to leave it on, but I'm just going to see if I can get that off. Don't want to waste any of the meat, but I will take that off. And there's a little piece right there. So I'll just cut that off if I can without cutting myself. To be very, very careful with these knives. Okay, so now I'm just going to start down here at this end, and I'm just going to slice the pork tenderloin. These are about 3/4 of an inch thick. Just going to do it like that. I'm going to continue slicing. Now, if I'm not going to cook all of this, I will not slice it. I'll freeze it whole. I'll freeze the whole tenderloin. And then once I take it out of the freezer and get ready to cook it, that's when I'll slice it. So, just trying to cut it right here. It's very, very tender, and I don't want to cut my hands, so just trying to be really careful. Okay, so there we have that. So next, I'm just going to add some salt. And you can add pepper if you'd like to. You know, I have to keep reminding you that the reason I don't show pepper is because Doug doesn't do real well with pepper, but I do like it, and it really helps to season. So we've just salted. Like I said, you could add pepper if you want to, just sprinkle some pepper on. And now I'm just going to dip this in flour and put it in a small amount of oil, and I'm going to fry it, and it doesn't take long. You don't want to overcook your tenderloin. You can go from tenderloin that's not done to tenderloin that is way too dry in just a matter of seconds. So you have to really watch it and get it just right when you cook it. So I'm going to take it over to the stove, and I'm going to fry some wonderful, wonderful tenderloin. Okay, our tenderloin is frying. I dipped it in flour, and then I just placed it in the hot oil. I let it brown on one side, and now I'm browning it on the other. And we want to cook this until it's done, but not overcooked. So when it gets done, I'll come back and show you. Okay, friends, our pork tenderloins are done. And I have fixed a little plate to show you. I've got my kitchen kind of cleaned up because it kind of got in a mess as I was cooking. And I have 4 pork tenderloins on this little plate here. And I have 2 biscuits. I just made some hot buttermilk biscuits. So I'm just going to open this biscuit up, and I'm going to put me some butter in there. You know, I love buttered biscuits. So I'm just going to put that in there. And on this one, I'm going to put a tenderloin. Oh, yum. That's going to be delicious. So here we go. I have pork tenderloins. I have a biscuit tenderloin. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? And then I have just a buttered biscuit that I'll eat some jelly or some preserves or something. But I hope that you'll try pork tenderloin. It's a wonderful meat to have to serve to your family. And it's healthy and it's good. And thank you for watching and being in my kitchen today. And I'll see you again really, really soon. Have a blessed day.